Greetings! It's Monday, you know what that means. It's Joe Lum's album review. Today I'm going to be covering Megadeth's 1990 record, Rust in Peace. Anyway, as usual, when you're done watching this video, you can go back and watch all the classic stuff in the archives or my Joe Lum's album review playlist. It's in the description box below. Here we go. Let's get down to business. Rust in Peace is the fourth studio album by American thrash metal band Megadeth. Released on the 24th of September of 1990, it was the first Megadeth album to feature guitarist Marty Friedman and drummer Nick Menza, establishing the classic Megadeth lineup, by the way. The songs Hangar 18 and Holy Wars, The Punishment Due were released as singles. A remixed and remastered version of the album, featuring 4 bonus tracks, were released in 2004. Since the album's release, Rust in Peace has often been named as one of the best thrash metal records of all time by publications such as Decibel and Kerrang, and listed in the reference book 1001 Metal Albums You Must Hear Before You Die. The album was nominated for a Grammy for the Best Metal Performance at the 33rd Annual Grammy Awards. At the 1991 Foundations Forum, the album received Concrete Foundation Award for Top Radio Album, and the single Hangar 18 won a Top Radio Cut Award. Time to get to the backstory, the background and production of this album. 1988, Megadeth appeared at the Monsters of Rock Festival at Donington Park in the UK alongside Iron Maiden, Kiss, Helloween, and Guns N' Roses. The band performed to an audience of more than 100,000 people and was soon added to the Monsters of Rock European tour, but dropped out after the first show due to bassist David Ellefson's drug problems. Further issues within the band caused frontman and guitarist Dave Mustaine to fire Chuck Baylor and Jeff Young and canceled their scheduled 1988 Australian tour. Nick Menza, who was previously Baylor's drum tech, was hired as Megadeth's new drummer. The search for a new guitarist was a drawn-out process. Dave Mustaine examined a number of guitarists for the job, including Dimebag Darrell of Pantera, who was initially offered the job before declining, as he requested that his Pantera brother Vinnie Paul also be hired. Jeff Waters of Annihilator was also considered. Mustaine asked original Megadeth guitarist Chris Poland to rejoin, with Poland tracking lead guitar parts on demo versions of all the songs that ended up on the studio album. According to Poland himself, he was 99% going to join, but the band was talked out of it by his manager. According to Mustaine, one of the last guitarists he had heard about was Marty Friedman. Marty Friedman had sent him a copy of Dragon's Kiss, on which Friedman played. Upon listening to the record, Mustaine had Friedman come into an audition and then subsequently hired him. This would be the first stable lineup as recognized by fans as the classic Megadeth lineup. The album Rust in Peace was inspired by a bumper sticker that Mustaine saw on the back of a vehicle while driving home from Lake Elsinore, California. The sticker read, "May all your nuclear weapons rest in peace." Mustaine liked the concept and decided to use it as a title for Megadeth's next record. Rust in Peace was recording at Rumbo Studios with producer Mike Klink, while the mixing was handled by Max Norman. Klink was brought in for his work on both Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction and UFO's Strangers in the Night. The producer's work dealt mostly with the bass, drums, and Friedman's guitar. In a 2002 interview, Mustaine declared that they really didn't make the record with Klink, as at the time he was focused on Guns N' Roses with his Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 records, which was also being recorded at Rumbo, and stated most of the work in the album was done by himself, Norman, and engineer Mikaja Ryan. The album's artwork was created by Ed Repka, who had previously done the Peace Sells but who's buying cover in 1986. It references Hangar 18 and depicts the band's mascot Vic Rattlehead and world leaders of the era viewing an alien body. In addition to creating the album's cover, Repka also supplied artwork for the album's two singles, Holy Wars, The Punishment Due, and Hangar 18. The object Rattlehead is holding was confirmed by Mustaine to be a material resembling kryptonite. Whoa. The men featured on the cover are, from left to right, an unidentified British representative, a Japanese prime minister, a German president, Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev, and then President George H.W. Bush. The compositions were like the album featured many multiple lyrical themes like religion, politics, and warfare, as well as Mustaine's personal issues, such as his fight against drug and alcohol addiction, UFO conspiracy theories, and even the Marvel Comics character Punisher. The opening song, Holy Wars, The Punishment Due, finds its thematic inspiration derived from the Northern Ireland conflict. Rust in Peace, Polaris, addresses the topic of nuclear warfare with Polaris, referring to the Cold War era Lockheed UGM-27 Polaris intercontinental ballistic missile. Mustaine had revealed that the song was originally titled Child Saint, was one of the earlier compositions having been written before his tenure with Metallica. Menza proposed the concept for Hangar 18, a song about UFO conspiracies in Area 51. Musically, the song features twin guitar solos after the verse. In 2017, more than 25 years after the album was released, Dave Mustaine revealed the majority of Holy War's tabs on the web did not transcribe the main riff correctly and posted the correct transcription himself. Looking at the track listings now, and all the songs were written and composed by Dave Mustaine except the noted ones. Holy Wars, The Punishment Due clocks in at 6:36. Hangar 18 clocks in at 5:14. Take No Prisoners clocks in at 3:28. Five Magics clocks in at 5:42. Poison Was the Cure clocks in at 2:58. Lucretia, written by Mustaine and Ellefson, clocks in at 3:58. Tornado of Souls, written by Mustaine and Ellefson, clocks in at 5:22. Dawn Patrol, written by Mustaine and Ellefson, clocks in at 1:50. And Rust in Peace, Polaris, originally clocked in at 5:36, but on the remaster it was clocked in at 5:44. Looking at the 2004 remastered bonus tracks, My Creation, written by Dave Mustaine and Nick Menza, clocks in at 1:36. And of course, the demos of Holy Wars, The Punishment Due, clocks in at 6:16. Rust in Peace, Polaris, clocks in at 5:25. And Take No Prisoners, the demo, clocks in at 3:23. After its September 24th, 1990 release, Rust in Peace went platinum in 1994. Rust in Peace, along with the rest of Megadeth's Capitol-released studio albums, were remixed and remastered in 2004. Upon release, the album received widespread critical acclaim. Greg Kot of the Chicago Tribune called it Megadeth's most accomplished album, praising its instrumental virtuosity through lyricism and punkish rage. Spin reviewer Tom Nordli, whatever the fuck his name is, praised the album, deemed it a mature, complex, surprisingly consonant, a sparingly produced album, and concluded that Rust in Peace never sleeps. A music journalist by the name of Kim Cooper also noted that the album's maturity and wrote that Rust in Peace transcended the hard rock genre and raised the bar to a whole new level. Another positive reaction came from Rock Hard, whose writer Holger Stratman stated that the record was pure Megadeth, filled with razor-sharp guitars and snotty vocals, whatever that means. Its legacy and influence has a retrospective analyst saying that Rust in Peace has been cited as having a large impact on its genre. Heavy Metal Magazine Decibel labeled the album as a genre-defining work, while Kerrang wrote the record set a new standard for heavy metal in the 1990s. My overall rating for Megadeth's Rust in Peace is an 80 out of 100. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a good album, but it would not be as great as Countdown to Extinction would be in 2 years' time. Because, Rust in Peace featured a lot of good material, like Holy Wars, Hangar 18, Tornado of Souls, Take No Prisoners. All great songs, all stood out from this record. There was a sequel to Hangar 18 called Return to Hangar, which was later featured on Megadeth's The World Needs a Hero album in 2001. This has been Joel Um's album review for this Monday.
No.